Good morning, good morning, good morning. How we doing this Saturday morning? I am listening to some Sasha Riley details, and I'm kind of keeping it as notes and just wanted, if y'all chime in, cool. If not, I understand. But, this Sasha Riley, it's getting to me. I ain't gonna even lie. I ain't gonna even lie. It is getting to me. And every time, and I do mean every time, I try to process this in my head, it just kind of, ooh, wee man. And then I see this. Is this Bondi and Trump? Is that Bondi? Long time ago. Is that Pam Bondi? I know she said first she tried to act like she didn't know Trump. Then she tried to come back and say, yes, I think I met him once when I was in college. You know, da-da, briefly, da-da-da. Well, how you find yourself back in a position where I was like, wait, what? Too many coincidences for me. I'm gonna just be honest. And I want y'all just to re-listen, because finding out that the foster parent, William K. Riley, was mentioned with Virginia Giuffre deposition, kind of changes things for me. I already felt a particular way, but then finding that out, and I'm just listening to this young man's details. So then as I was listening again today, I fell asleep last night or early this morning. There seems to be that the young lady that was mentioned in the files, the name was redacted, being driven by a limousine driver that overheard a conversation. Something in the nature, refund issue. What I get a refund for? Oh. Her name came up today. I never knew her name. And she was out of Oklahoma. Oklahoma has been coming up a few times too. But let me just listen to this one with you. Let's just listen.
This video. You keep asking this Sasha Riley. You guys need to watch the video attached to this video. You keep asking this Sasha Riley stuff is true and why haven't it came out sooner? He's been trying. Just watch this video.
H3LL adopted me at 4, not as his child, but as his slave. He would sell me to other psychopaths for a few dollars. They could do anything they wanted. I remember some of the people he sold me to. One of them was Donald Trump. Oh my god. To Leo Terrell, who said Trump is going to run for president regardless.
He's been trying. Just watch this video.
H3LL adopted me at 4, not as his child, but as his slave. He would sell me to other psychopaths for a few dollars.
Others.
They could do anything they wanted. I remember some.
So, when I was listening to this, let me put that other picture of him up. It kind of reminds me of that guy who went ape shit crazy. Trump Towers. That was affiliated to Diddy, who called himself Diddy's sex slave. Y'all remember him? What was his name? Jonathan Oddie. And he got arrested and detained, and they was questioning him. I mean, because he still has not went to trial on those charges at Mar-a-Lago. And if we remember correctly, he had a shootout at Mar-a-Lago. And he wanted to contact the FBI, the CIA, and he was talking about the military. And, I mean, he was just going ham. And people thought he was crazy. But he said that he was a sex slave. Y'all remember that? Jonathan Oddie. Hey, Freddie. Hey, Dr. Wow. So all of this is just kind of coming to full fruition. And it's like, one, whatever happened to Oddie? Why he was never convicted? And when he sat down to talk, oh, Lord, I ain't been on this device. And when he sat down to talk, he started bringing up CIA, FBI, and all this crazy stuff. I'm trying to pull him up as I talk. So to see this guy right here, William Kyle Riley, who adopted Sasha Riley, and he adopted him, foster parent adopted him to be a sex slave to his homies, to his business partners. It blows my mind. It blows my mind, and it's hurtful because families, female or male, whoever, put their kids up for adoption with the thought of giving them a better life. All to find out now just how evil and corrupt the whole system is. So much so that we have allowed a demonic individual and his partners to be a president and congressman, judge. All of that is wrapped up in there. But God. That's all I can say. It's but God. But I'm gonna tell you, it's finding this out has been extremely disturbing. Extremely disturbing. I'm gonna play these that I've been listening to. Allow y'all to listen to them. And I have Jonathan Oddie's Uh, I think this is when he was being interrogated. Oh no. I'm cutting the volume up.
He brought up something totally unexpected. He claimed that he'd been a sex slave for Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. This video is courtesy of Real World Media. Take a look.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate. That's all I wanted to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
So at the time, Odie's story seemed too far-fetched to believe. But not anymore.
Not
and
anymore.
Now in an exclusive interview, Odie opens up to News Nation senior producer Allison Weiner about his claims, beginning with why he's agreed to talk now. Listen to this.
I felt bad because I got along well with her, and I think she's a decent person. And unfortunately, I had a suspicion that she was in a situation that she was in, but I wasn't sure. And now I understand the lie. What was going on in her mind and what
Now he understands.
happened. And he's beating her up in the hotel, shows me the type of individual he is, and confirms that everything that happened to me was true and correct and in line with
Was true and correct, as if he didn't know it was true and correct. All of that, I'm gonna finish playing that. All of that is coming to my mind as more and more is coming out. Let me finish this. It's just blowing my mind, y'all.
Some of the people he sold me to. One of them was
I ain't
Donald
even
Trump.
lying.
Oh,
Let's start over.
This video. Keep asking all this sausage Raleigh stuff is true and why haven't it came out sooner? He's been trying.
Hey, room
Just
check.
watch this video.
Richard Below adopted me at 4, not as his child, but as his slave. He would sell me to other psychopaths for a few dollars. They could do anything they wanted. I remember some of the people he sold me to. One of them was Donald Trump. Oh my God. To Leo Terrell, who said Trump is going to run for president regardless of indictments, he wrote, Trump's going to run out of money paying legal fees, and then the whole thing will get exposed. Your part, too. Andy Biggs wrote, America first. And
Andy
he wrote,
Biggs.
I remember you. My dad was afraid that he'd get into trouble because of how bad you beat me. He kept saying your name as I struggled to breathe in the back seat of the car. They were scared by CPS was already involved, and they knew they couldn't explain more bruises or another assault. And he says, Andy Biggs beat you? Oh my God, Sasha, I knew you had a pretty bad life, but I had no idea people of power were beating and R-ing you. How do you keep quiet? He said, I was told I would be unalived if I ever talked about it. I only remember 3 well enough to describe it in detail, but I was trafficked from 4 until about 12. I stopped when CPS got involved. They are Andy Biggs, Jim Jordan, and Donald Trump, who's in my medical records by name 30 years ago. Wow. He's been consistent, guys. This is from 2022.
You guys need to watch the video attached to this video. Keep asking all this sausage Raleigh stuff is true and why haven't it came out
What's my next
sooner?
one?
He's been trying.
He been
Just
trying.
watch this video.
Richard Below adopted me at 4, not as his child, but as his slave. He would sell me to other psychopaths for a few dollars. They could do anything they wanted. I remember some of the people he sold me to. One of them was Donald Trump. Oh my God. To Leo Terrell, who said Trump is going to run for president regardless of indictments, he wrote, Trump's going to run out of money paying legal fees, and then the whole thing will get exposed. Your part, too. Andy Biggs wrote, America first. And he wrote, I remember you. My dad was afraid that he'd get into trouble because of how bad you beat me. He kept saying your name as I struggled to breathe in the back seat of the car. They were scared by CPS was already involved, and they knew they couldn't explain more bruises or another assault. And he says, Andy Biggs beat you? Oh my God, Sasha.
And then when last night, I'm gonna pause here. I'm coming back. But last night when I was listening, just kind of processing it all, you know, uh, this Andy, is it Andy? Not him. He said Andy Diggs. Okay. He haven't gotten to Jim Jordan, cause Jim Jordan. Oh wow, let me bring that to the forefront. Cause he was mentioned too. Oh, Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan. By the way, he described how, and you know, how he described how he was ready to fight, and he couldn't fight out Jim Jordan because it appeared that he had a wrestling move. All to come to find out that he was like a wrestling coach. And already, how do these people, oh my God, they all in this mess together. But soon as we bring up Jim Jordan,
so with all the talk of
I got a Midas.
Trump
This was months ago.
Dark past, we should also look at the people who are covering up for Donald Trump, and they're involved in their own cover-ups in their own world. I mean, you think about the MAGA Republican Congress member Jim Jordan, who is not a
Is not what? Hold on, y'all. I'm going back.
licensed lawyer, although he went to a law school, who chairs the Judiciary Committee. He's someone who consistently covers up for all of Donald Trump's crimes and misconduct. On Friday, Jim Jordan was deposed in connection with the massive cover-up that he was involved in when he was an assistant wrestling coach at the Ohio State University.
So when I'm just for the ones who trying to say, oh well, he ain't, how we know it's true. How we listen. This young man has details like we ain't never heard before. And these congressmen already have other allegations out there that has obviously been looked over. What are we doing, people? What in the world are we doing? Let's hear this lady.
I'd encourage you to go back and listen to part number 1, which is the introduction, before listening to part 2 here. He jumps right into talking about Donald Trump, and anytime you see it fade in and out, that indicates I've cut out a section.
Speechless.
More than just those 3 times, but only 3 times do I kind of remember. I can remember at one point him asking the people that were kind of running that party or whatever it was at that farm, he wanted to kill somebody. He wanted to murder somebody. And they said, hey, that's not this kind of party. You can't do that.
To be clear, he is talking about Donald Trump. And although this idea is just way out of our realm of thinking, there are, in fact, events where very wealthy people can go and pay an extraordinary amount of money to people. This isn't conspiracy shit.
I mean, like,
this
what?
Stuff is out there.
To do what? She can't say the word, but pay a lot.
Way out of our realm of thinking. There are, in fact, events where very wealthy people can go and pay an extraordinary amount of money to people. This isn't conspiracy shit. This stuff is out there. But why would we want to look for it? But it's there.
And they, in lieu of doing that, they said, well, we've got some puppies if you just want to kill something.
Goes on to describe how at 10 or 11 years old he was forced to watch this, and he goes into detail about how Donald Trump did kill those puppies. Now, you are more than likely familiar with the fact that Donald Trump uses dog consistently in a negative way.
Okay,
the
yeah,
political leader he was involved.
Hold on. I got that too. Hold on. So, when I was listening last night, trying to process that, I'm coming back to that, I came across another, let me find it, video I was listening to, where, I mean, it was just overwhelming hearing people express how they are feeling about this. Yeah, this one.
When you look for the receipts or the verification of Sasha Riley's story, don't just go by AI or the search engines or Grok. It appears that you're going to get different answers depending on how you ask and from what app you ask. I kind of wonder if Grok is programmed a certain way. I was able to verify that there actually is, that this trailer park exists, that there is a Trump Drive. The trailer park streets are named after what appear to be possibly children.
Like a dog, choked like a dog. And that's why he died like a dog. He died like a coward. He was whimpering, screaming, and crying. When Beto he quit like a dog. Just got thrown out of the Navy like a dog. And he was fired like a dog. He was fired viciously. And he said he's done died and he doesn't even know he was fired. We've had Obama far too long. The last election should have been won, except Romney choked like a dog. He choked. He went, I can't breathe. Romney is, very embarrassed that he did so badly.
Everything is about a dog.
Romney choked, okay? He choked like a dog. A lot of people choke. They choke like dogs. They can't breathe. Oh. You know what he did? He choked. He went away. He choked. It's just like a dog. Mitt Romney. 4 years ago, the guy choked like a dog. Romney choked, okay? He choked like a dog.
Who knows how dogs sound when they choke unless you've choked dogs, right? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? So to hear Sasha talk about Trump killing, we're unaliving dogs, because he came in wanting to unalive somebody, because those are the type of parties they had as well, right? And to hear this content creator have found different clippings, different times of Donald Trump using the phrase like a dog.
Too long. The last election should have been won, except Romney choked like a dog. He choked. He went, fired like a dog. He was fired viciously. And he said he's done died and he doesn't even know he was fired. We've had Obama far too long. The last election should have been won, except Romney choked like a dog. He choked. He went, I can't breathe. Romney is, very embarrassed that he did so badly 4 years ago. The guy choked like a dog. Romney choked, okay? He choked like a dog. A lot of people choke. They choke like dogs. They can't breathe. Oh. You know what he did? He choked. He went away. He choked. It's just like a dog. Mitt Romney choked. Pure and simple. He choked like a dog. Choked like a dog.
Choke like a dog. Okay, let me get back to where I was over here listening to Sasha. I'm just pointing out some things that connect for me. And I'm gonna tell you, this is hard. but I refuse to act like it's not real, as if it's a lie. And shout out to this content creator right here. At first, when I saw, he almost brought
About
tears to
11:30
me.
a.m.
He almost brought tears to me. And but when I saw his title, hi, Jay Ponte, first, and I saw it a couple of times, and I was like, kind of rolling my eyes. Y'all, please hit the like button, double tap the face of the screen. I know this is different than what I normally do, but support the platform. Just hit the three dots at the top. The real appreciate you, baby, for putting that out there too. Good stuff. Thank you, Freddie. So when I was looking at this guy the other day, I finally listened to him last night, but his title was Why He Was Not Covering Sasha Riley's Story. So before I listened to it, and I don't know what made me listen to it last night, I judged it by the title, and I just kind of rolled my eyes at it. But I took the time to listen last night. So listen with me. Because it brought tears to me. I'm not going to even lie. And I totally understood it and respected it. Let's go.
On Tuesday morning. And it's time to set a boundary, which I do on this app with alarming regularity. I'm going to be as polite about this as I possibly can be, but I also need to be firm about it. I don't work for you. I don't take orders from people in the comments. I don't take instructions from people. I mean, I've already got ADHD and oppositional defiant disorder, so I react poorly to that even in the best of circumstances. Over the last couple of days on my backup and on this account, my comments have been absolutely flooded with the name Sasha Riley. So much so that I made a video last night explaining why I am not going to talk about Sasha Riley. This morning, my comments were flooded with that name at a higher number than they had been over the last 2 days, even after I made that video. I'm not going to discuss it because it's traumatic. And it triggers my PTSD from things that I've been through in my past. And you guys are going into the comments of...
So when I heard that, my heart went out to him. It's one thing for females, kids, to be taken advantage of. But when we stop and process boys and men, it takes on a whole different texture. Never really stop to think about how many people, both females and males, that are YouTube or any type of media commentary, who have been affected and never talked about it. So I imagine how he could feel, how he's feeling. If I am hurt, if I am bothered, if I am troubled, knowing in mass numbers. The kids who are now adults, some who are alive and some who are not alive, some who took their life and some who was set up to look like they took their life. Imagine how a man is feeling now that this guy, Sasha, has spoke up and spoke out. How that makes them feel, because remember, men are not supposed to cry, and they definitely do not want to talk about it. See, even with Donald Trump and his coward ass friends, it's kind of one thing to think, oh, it's a girl, oh, she wanted it, oh, you can put your hand in her panties and she'll let you do it cause you're a celebrity. Oh, you can't believe her. She's a whore. She's a liar. She's not credible. But now you have a man with details. I mean, explicit details. And a man who know he has his own traumas. It's like, oh no, I can't touch it. It's a trigger. Either he was physically abused, or essayed. So I totally understand.
People on this app.
I understand, and I totally respect him for being honest enough to say, I'm not going to touch
Primarily
it.
women who have been open on this app, content creators, and who have discussed their own, are going into the comments.
And he really don't even want to look at the screen. He really don't want to. He can't. He don't want to touch it. He really don't want to touch it. I have empathy for him. I have empathy for everybody who has been violated. I'm hurt for them and I'm mad for them. I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Of people on this app, primarily women, who have been open on this app, content creators, and who have discussed their own personal experiences with sexual assault, sexual abuse, sex trafficking, and you're just going into their comments and demanding that they talk about that more and that they talk about Sasha Riley. It's not even questions. It's not even requests. I've been flooded with comments. Talk about Sasha Riley. Make a video about Sasha Riley. Why aren't you talking about Sasha Riley? You have a responsibility to talk about Sasha Riley. Fuck you. Apologies for that. I was going to try not to use any profanity in this video. None of us work for you. And you guys are just going into, and it's not everybody, before anybody gets all up in a fucking tizzy and pulls a not all men thing on me. But so many of you feel so unimaginably entitled to us, content creators, when you don't make any content yourself. You're not putting your face on the internet, and you're coming into our comments and barking orders at us with a complete disregard and not even the slightest consideration of the things that we have been through in our own personal lives. You don't own us. We don't work for you. We don't take orders from you. None of you pay me, except for a few folks who subscribe to our Patreon page and are
You know, you just don't know why. Like he said, he suffered with PTSD. You don't know why people suffer, because we don't know what they've been through, male or female. And a lot of them have been through some things. What's his name? Let me double check. Shout out to him. You know, and I apologize for judging his title, not wanting to talk about Sasha, but I totally understand and totally Hawks. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
YouTube page. But I will tell you that to a person, the people who do subscribe to our Patreon page and to our YouTube page are some of the most considerate and polite people I've ever encountered on the internet, and would never in a million years dream of doing what so many of you do. I have seen multiple videos from female mutuals of mine traumatized
Indeed.
by the story and testimony of Sasha Riley, and equally traumatized by, I'm just going to call it harassment, that they're getting from people in their comments demanding that they make videos about it, demanding that they discuss it, demanding that they talk more about it. Some of you guys are doing that to women who are survivors of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sex trafficking.
Thanks.
Demanding. Like, what in the actual fuck is wrong with you? I had to go to my backup account and my main account and put Sasha Riley's first and last name in my comment filter so that I will no longer see those comments. I don't work for
Traumatized.
you, and I don't take orders from you. I appreciate every single one of you immensely, but I do not work for you, and I do not take orders from you.
He's been traumatized. He knows full hand what's going on. So much so, he can't even talk about it. Refused to. And let me double check. He has 686,000 subscribers. So he been talking about some of everything. He made my little 30 million views look bad. You hear me? Hello, Shannon. He make my little 30 million views look bad because he has 862 million views. And he is saying he will not talk about Sasha Riley due to trauma. I pray him well. I pray he heals. I pray that he, address his issues. And I pray that Sasha Riley's coming forth will help heal him. Give him the voice he needs to seek help for that. He owed that to himself to heal. He owes that to himself to heal. Do it for himself. Don't do it for nobody else, but for himself. God bless him. Let me get back over to where I was. Let's hear this guy.
Asha said that they made him bare knuckle box other underage. Sasha said that they made him bare knuckle box other underage kids. Makes you wonder that UFC ring that they're putting on the White House lawn. Is that an F you to the others? If you haven't already, go look up that Substack post about Sasha Riley and listen to the audio before it gets taken down. It's already being removed from other platforms. Specifically, it's being removed from Threads, where it's being talked about the heaviest, because a lot of that content violates their terms and conditions, because that's how it's way more messed up than you could ever imagine. Most people can't even make it through the first 50 minutes of the first audio. It's bad. It's bad. So if you want to know more about that and some other, what he did with a tent stake to Trump, you might want to check it out. Get it before it's gone. It's going to get removed. Oh, and last week, PBS just confirmed that there's over 5 million pages. So Sasha said that they made him
So when I heard this one, before when Sasha was talking, I thought I heard him say wooden, some type of stick, but I couldn't fully understand what he was saying. So when I heard this guy talking about it, I said, oh, okay. So I looked up a tent stake. And so I saw what they look like now, and then I put 1989. Oh, I don't want to use that. I'm gonna because I got. Hold on. So I put 1989. I'm gonna have to pull it up on a different device. I thought I sent a picture, but I didn't. And I said, oh, okay. Because I didn't know what type of stick that was. I didn't know if it had ridges or what. But because I didn't fully understand what he was saying. Hi, Annika. But let me show you. 1989 wooden tent stick. I think he said wooden. I'm almost sure he did. Is what he stuck. And you know what? Let me see if it'll stand up this way. Yeah. So this is what 1989 tent sticks look like. I don't know how big the tents was. But this is what a 1989 wood tent stick looked like. That he stuck up whose. Rear end. That he had to be careflighted out. Yep. That's what they look like. So if he said he kicked it. Okay, let me move on. I'm not planning on being here all day.
Bare knuckle box other underage kids. Makes you wonder, that UFC ring that they're putting on the White House lawn. Is that an F you to the others? If you haven't already, go look up that Substack post about Sasha Riley and listen to the audio before it gets taken down. It's already being removed from other platforms. Specifically, it's being removed from Threads, where it's being talked about the heaviest, because a lot of that content violates their terms and conditions, because that's how it's way more messed up than you could ever imagine. Most people can't even make it through the first 50 minutes of the first audio. It's bad. It's bad. So if you want to know more about that and some other, what he did with a tent stake to Trump, you might want to check it out.
Sasha Riley's story this morning made me want to throw up. And if you don't know who Sasha Riley is, he is a grown man now who alleges that he was one of the victims of Epstein's disgusting, depraved child trafficking ring. And the stories...
And you know, it's interesting that he do not really say much about Epstein.
Goes into detail about will literally make you sick to your stomach if you have any heart and soul. A lot of this stuff is alleged because not all of it has been completely reported out and fleshed out, so I will leave that to the investigative reporters to bring full legitimacy to all or parts of the story, but some of it has been confirmed. So upsetting. And what it speaks to for me, despite 100% or less validity of it, is the fact that we're 13 days into January and the Epstein files have not been released, and they have not been unredacted, and there are people in power who need to be held accountable. So the dregs of our society are not at the bottom, they're at the top. So take a look at this and listen and let me know what you think. Sasha Riley's story this morning made me want to throw up. And if you don't know...
Hold on.
We still have more information to release. This is what we've been looking for. Sasha said today, we still have more information to release first, then we're going to do a whole bunch of...
I think I played that last night. Hold on.
stuff. You have to consider how this rolled out. Sasha's been saying this story for about 10 years and no one was listening. And then you have Lisa, this unknown blogger writer, who said, I will listen. So they recorded these tapes and uploaded them raw without any editing and did not know how it was going to land. Sasha even said themselves very early on, I hope this is the time people start listening. So just over the course of this week, it is starting to steamroll. Of course, there's a lot of skepticism. I don't think that's unreasonable at all, but they're going to release more materials. The original tapes were recorded in July, right? And then they were released in November. In between that time, Sasha got out of the country and met up with Lisa in Canada. I don't know if they're together, but I do know that Sasha's in Canada. They collected the necessary documents, which are alluded to in the 6th tape. They're talking about collecting hospital records and county records and things like that. And those documents are being dispersed to trusted officials elsewhere, just in case anything happens. There are additional copies. But these things are going to start to roll out in a very calculated phase. And I know it sounds really conspiratorial, but you have to keep in mind, they didn't know how this was going to land. But now that it's really starting to pick up, they're going to provide more evidence. And there's been a lot of people doing really great deep dives on this and finding things out on their own. What we can do to keep supporting this is just keep talking about it, keep it in the algorithm, keep it in the SEO. And the story's just...
Yeah, they got to address it.
This is what we've been looking for. Sasha said today...
Gotta address it. Y'all, I need for y'all to double tap the face of your screen.
Today, we still have more...
I need for y'all to get the likes up, please. I don't think I listened to this one.
A friend of mine, former FBI, has sent me a group of files. This includes first-person eyewitness accounts and audio of a snuff ring. Snuff ring where they take somebody out after they've had their way with them, typically a little girl. Allegedly. A friend of mine, former FBI, has sent me a group of files. This includes first-person
Snuff ring
accounts and audio of a snuff ring. Snuff ring.
What in the world? Have anybody heard of a snuff ring?
Eyewitness accounts and audio of a snuff ring. Snuff ring where they take somebody out after they've had their way with them, typically a little girl. The parties named include Donald Trump, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Andy Biggs, and others. The House Oversight Committee has this, and it's been shared worldwide with several other safe parties. But it explains...
So, he said the Oversight Committee do have it. Okay. Let's go.
They've had their way with them, typically a little girl. The parties named include Donald Trump, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Andy Biggs, and others. Former FBI has sent me a group of files. This includes first-person eyewitness accounts and audio of a snuff ring. Snuff ring where they take somebody out after they've had their way with them, typically a little girl. The parties named include Donald Trump, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Andy Biggs, and others. The House Oversight Committee has this, and it's been shared worldwide with several other safe parties. But it explains a lot. It explains why Donald Trump said, you have to protect the Epstein files because it'll hurt my friends.
Absolutely.
This may be the smoking gun of a snuff ring. Snuff ring where they take somebody out after they've had their way with them, typically a little girl. The parties named include Donald Trump, Jim Jordan, Lindsey Graham, Andy Biggs, and others. The House Oversight Committee has this, and it's been shared worldwide with several other safe parties. But it explains Andy Biggs and others. The House Oversight Committee has this, and it's been shared worldwide with several other safe parties. But it explains a lot. It explains why Donald Trump said, you have to protect the Epstein files because it'll hurt my friends.
Oh my God.
This may be the smoking gun, and it's the reason why I have to use the word.
Use the word what?
This may be the smoking gun, and it's the reason why I have to use the word.
No surprise to me. Oh, yeah.
The parties...
What part is now? No, Frank, the Frank man.
A friend of mine, former FBI, has sent me a group named include Donald Trump, Jim
What
Jordan,
is not a
Lindsey
surprise
Graham.
to you? What part? Oh yeah, and this guy here. One of the Proud Boys. Occupy Democrat says that Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, who attacked the Capitol on January 6th, is now a ICE officer. Is that surprising? Does that surprise anybody? Enrique is now on the force to yank people out of their house. Now listen, I'm going to be honest. Do I think they are looking for... I'm glad to hear. I hope he's still out of the country. But do I think they are looking for Sasha? Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. Gotta find... Now, he have it set, what, 100 plus countries that can't come into the U.S.? So you don't want him back in the U.S. I said, ooh, that Donald Trump. That Donica is something else, baby. We don't want no guests coming into the U.S. from here. They done put their people on it. Where is he? Where is people from? Where could he be? We need this. Y'all do know that that's how. All of them. And it kind of appears like they're maybe trying to move strategically, because this ain't new info. They saying this ain't new.
People have the power.
Hold on, let's hear this one.
This is disgusting. You people have the power to do something. This is disgusting. You people have the power to do something. Ohio State is too arrogant. They think it's going to go away. Jim Jordan called me crying. Groveling. On the 4th of July. Begging me to go against my brother. Begging me. Crying for a half hour. That's the kind of cover-ups that's going on there. Now, you guys can sit and act like it's not going on, but I got a lot of other stuff here. Emails that were taken out of my mailbox. That's a crime.
He said he got receipts. He called him crying. Go against your brother for me. Go against your brother. What did he do? I'm gonna get to that if time allows. But let me move on. I will get to it. He wanted him to go against his brother. Wow, this shit is deep.
Do something. Ohio State is too arrogant.
Nearly everyone in the country, including some of the most despicable Republicans in Congress, including Jim Jordan, who is, I mean, to put it bluntly, an asshat. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene is despised by nearly everyone in the country, including some of the most despicable Republicans in Congress, including Jim Jordan, who is, I mean, to put it bluntly, an asshat. Now, during an impromptu Republican press conference after Hunter Biden spoke out publicly for the first time on testifying before Congress, we're going to see Jim Jordan shut down the press conference as soon as Marjorie Taylor Greene opens her mouth.
So we will begin looking at that. Both the lawyers for the Oversight Committee, the lawyers for the Judiciary Committee will move in that direction. But look, when Congress asks you to come, you're supposed to come and testify.
Devin Archer testified.
So Marjorie, she know it's dirt.
After Hunter Biden spoke out publicly for the first time.
She know it's dirt.
We're going to see Jim Jordan.
And now she working
down
with the Democrats.
Conference as soon as Marjorie Taylor Greene opens her mouth.
So we will begin looking at that. Both the lawyers for the Oversight Committee, the lawyers for the Judiciary Committee will move in that direction. But look, when Congress asks you to come, you're supposed to come and testify.
Devin Archer testified.
Last thing, we also found checks from one of Hunter Biden's shell companies that were going into an account for Joe Biden. Monthly. They said that was a loan repayment. Oh yeah, everything's a loan repayment. Well, why did Hunter Biden will have an opportunity in deposition to come in and explain that?
In emails that you guys leaked from Hunter Biden's laptop. I would like to have asked Hunter Biden about Mann Act violations. Sex trafficking women across state lines.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
That would have been a good question. You don't seem to care about that.
So she said I would, hold on.
Chairman, that was memorialized in emails that you guys leaked from Hunter Biden's laptop. I would like to have asked Hunter Biden about Mann Act violations. Sex trafficking women across state lines.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
That would have been a good question. You don't seem to care about that.
Chairman Coleman, are you going to call on a sergeant at arms to go ahead and...
That word sex trafficking got him
Just
up out of there.
there, you've got the embarrassment that is Jim Jordan being more embarrassed by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Jim Jordan is nearing 600 days of defying a congressional subpoena from the House Select Committee to testify on his role in the planning and coordination efforts for what took place on January 6th, the attack on Capitol.
Baby, it made them shut down.
Well, the President Hunter Biden will have an opportunity in deposition.
Chairman, that was memorialized in emails that you guys leaked from Hunter Biden's laptop.
He said you should have
asked Hunter Biden about management violations. Sex trafficking women across state lines. Thank you all very much. Thank you. That would have been a good question. You don't seem to care about that.
Chairman Coleman, are you going to call on a sergeant at arms to go ahead and enforce that subpoena?
So just to recap there, you've got the embarrassment that is Jim Jordan being more embarrassed by Marjorie Taylor Greene. Jim Jordan is nearing 600 days of defying a congressional subpoena from the House Select Committee to testify on his role in the planning and coordination efforts for what took place on January 6th, the attack on Capitol Hill, the attack on our democracy, the attack on our elections. So for Jim Jordan to stand before America and try to pretend to be the defender of American democracy, the Constitution, of law and order, is a pretty big joke. And that kind of goes to show you why so many people despise him. And then you have Marjorie Taylor Greene trying to out crazy the crazies and getting shut down. I mean, the Republican Party has...
Sasha said that he remembered, he remembered Jim Jordan, so because of his distinct jawline and his voice. He had a distinct jawline and voice. Indeed, he does. Absolutely. But this is also the one who grabbed him and tackled him, wrestled him. He said wrestled. And he is from the wrestling arena.
On Capitol Hill, the attack on our democracy, the attack on our
It's
elections.
ugly and nasty.
So for Jim Jordan to stand before America and try to pretend to be the defender of American democracy, the Constitution, of law and order, is
horrible.
A pretty big joke.
How dare them even have that title, law and order, and they are
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
apists.
Trying to out crazy the crazies and getting shut down. I mean, the Republican Party has really no cohesion. And so you get all of these members taking jabs at everybody else, and they get mixed up in the crossfire. And so you have embarrassing moments like this where Marjorie Taylor Greene tries to get the last word in.
So it's as if they intentionally put their grievance, their crimes, their sicknesses on other people. So they put it out there, they discuss it, yeah, but they plant the seed to be others. All along, they are really describing themselves. Now, last night when I was listening to all of this type of stuff, I had to bring the Lord in here.
Yo, I've been knowing this song.
So, listen, I needed the Lord.
Almost all my life, but it ain't never hit the way it hit now. That song that goes, tragedies are commonplace. All kinds of diseases. People are slipping away. The economy's down. People can't get enough pay. But as for me, all I can say is thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. It could have been me.
It could have been me.
Outdoors with no food and no clothes. I could have been alone without a friend or just another number
With
with a
tragic
tragic
end.
end.
Yes.
But you didn't see fit to let none of these things be. And every day by your power, this is my part right here, you keep on keeping me. And I want to say thank you, Lord, for all you've done for me. Yeah, yeah. That song.
It could have been any one of us. It really could have been any one of us. But God, Lord, I thank you. It could have been.
Tragedies are. Y'all, I've been knowing this song.
Hold on, I'm trying to move on to the next one. Y'all, double tap, hit the like button. Let's hear this one.
Had to wear diapers. And
Oh, yeah.
I would bet it's because I ripped him open.
That some folks that worked on the television series The Apprentice, they said Donald Trump had to wear diapers. And that...
I would bet it's because
This is
I
Sasha.
ripped him open.
This is Sasha's. This is the part. They say more stuff is coming out, but this is Sasha.
Some folks that worked on the television series The Apprentice, they said Donald Trump had to wear diapers. And that...
I would bet it's because I ripped him open.
That's what my sense is that some of the gossip has been, oh, Trump had used Adderall, Trump was incontinent because of drug use. But I'm wondering, and I do know that the truth, if that's actually the reason Trump wears diapers. I mean, can you describe what the injuries look like? Do you remember enough to describe?
I remember the scream that he let out when I kicked him. So I got as far away as I could, like in the corner. And then those people came in there, obviously knowing something was up. They pointed a gun at me. Anyway, they didn't beat me. They didn't do anything like that. They just scooped him up, got him out of there.
When I listen to this,
and then they tried to figure out
when I
what
listen to
what
this
had
one,
happened.
I don't know if I remember hearing him saying that he was kind of the reason why he in a diaper. But when I listened to this last night, he said after he did what he did, to get Trump off of him, he retreated to a corner. It's like the trauma of it all. Getting a violator, doing something to defend yourself, and then being so afraid. You didn't run, not that it probably was doing it good. You was 10, 11 years old. You wouldn't know where to go. But you went into a corner. So I just imagine him being in a corner at 10. Well, I don't know if he was 10 when that happened. He said he was 10 when Andy and oh boy started being intimate with him, attacking and abusing him sexually. But it's just to go to the corners, like, oh man, I can see that. I can visualize a kid going to the corner after doing something to a violator.
What the injuries look like? Do you remember enough to describe?
I remember the scream that he let out when I kicked him. So I got as far away as I could, like in the corner. And then those people came in there, obviously knowing something was up. They pointed a gun at me. Anyway, they didn't beat me. They didn't do anything like that. They just scooped him up, got him out of there. And then they tried to figure out what had happened. And I know at one point I was just there with like a couple of guys holding a gun on me. and there was some discussion. My dad was brought in, and they just let us go for that day. Nobody harmed us that day because they didn't really know how they were going to handle it. They didn't know if Trump was going to die. He was fucked up. I mean, no doubt. That's something that left a scar. There's no doubt in my mind that left a permanent scar on him. So, and as far as if it's possible that that's the reason that he's incontinent today, it's very, very much so. It wasn't, it wasn't a minor injury by any stretch of the imagination. It was my best effort to kill him in the most horrible way that I could possibly do it. I just happened to fail.
Wow.
That's what my sense is.
What did this guy here say?
Before you compare Sasha Riley's story to QAnon, I want you to consider that QAnon had 0 survivors come forward, 0 victims, 0 material evidence. They dragged Wayfair into the mess because they were so desperate for anything to prove them right, and nothing came to fruition. And then here we are, Epstein has thousands of accusers. Trump himself has 28 allegations. This kind of stuff, beyond just the sexual assault, but now into the raw violence of it, has been our entertainment for years. It's been in movies, it's been in books. True Detective, Taken, even like the Ed Gein story. Like, we watch this stuff for entertainment, and now that we're actually being confronted with it, with real names, real military records, real hospital records, now we're willing to put up this suspicion. Like, this is the reality. Grow the fuck up. Before you compare Sasha Riley's story to QAnon, I want you to consider that QAnon had 0 survivors come forward, 0 victims, 0 material evidence. They dragged Wayfair into the mess because they were so desperate for anything to prove them right, and nothing came to fruition. And then here we are, Epstein has thousands of accusers. Trump himself has 28 allegations. This kind of stuff, beyond just the sexual assault, but now into the raw violence of it, has been our entertainment for years. It's been in movies, it's been in books. True Detective, Taken, even like the Ed Gein story. Like, we watch this stuff for entertainment, and now that we're actually being confronted with it, with real names, real military records, real hospital records, now we're willing to put up this suspicion. Like, this is the reality. Grow the fuck up.
Yep, it is the reality. It's here now. It's here. I don't know what this guy said.
So I listened to the Sasha Riley interview on Substack.
I don't know what he said.
Sasha Riley, audio leak, interview leaked of excruciating detail about Donald Trump and his part in the whole Epstein ring. And the way Sasha Riley painted Trump out in that interview, basically, he was looking like Kingpin. I don't know if you ever read a Spider-Man
ringleader
comic or Marvel comic. Kingpin, like, he was like the head honcho, not Epstein.
Right.
Trump was the main one doing all that weird, disgusting stuff. I highly suggest you guys go on Substack and just look up the Sasha Riley interview and listen to the whole thing. There is no way this person can be lying. There is no way this person is lying. That detail, no way this person is lying. I believe
totally
everything they are saying.
I agree. Now, what is this one? I hadn't listened to it either.
Have you ever seen the court document out of California that names Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump in a suspected abuse? Thanks to an anonymous tip that I received. Have you ever seen the court document out of California that names...
Can I see it? Can y'all see that court record? Do I see? Oh, that's Katie Johnson. That's Katie Johnson's paperwork.
Have you ever seen the court document out of California that names Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump in suspected abuse? Thanks to an anonymous tip that I received.
Yep, Katie Johnson.
Have you ever seen?
I don't know why people try to act like Donald Trump has never been accused
the court
of.
Document out of California that names
That's
Jeffrey
been
Epstein
there for a
and
while.
Donald Trump
Katie
in,
Johnson.
Suspected abuse. Thanks to an anonymous tip that I received.
Yeah, that's been there. But her family was threatened. She was threatened. But she's talking now. Okay, that's all I have here. Let's get back over here. Let me get here. Let me see if I have anything here. I heard that one. Oh, this one. Did we hear this one?
Very serious FBI tip involving Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. This is the newly uncovered records support a very serious FBI tip involving Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. This is the Epstein file involving a tip from an individual who said they had driven a passenger who alleged that she was SA'd by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. The individual who submitted the tip claimed that they later learned the passenger had passed away and was found with her head blown off in Oklahoma. Now we have evidence to back up this claim. A 19-year-old student passed away on January 10th, 2000, according to death notices from 2 newspapers. The state's chief medical examiner told the Oklahoman on December 24th that the death of Dusky Duke was ruled a self-unaliving due to a gunshot to the head. The FBI tip was logged by an individual who was a limousine driver who claimed to have driven Trump in the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area in Texas
Dusty
in 1995. The limousine driver told a passenger of theirs in 1999 about their encounter with Trump, which then sparked the passenger to share that they had been SA'd by both Trump and Epstein. The limousine driver encouraged their passenger to contact law enforcement about the alleged SA, to which the passenger objected, saying that they would kill her. The limousine driver tried to follow up with the passenger, but unfortunately found out she had allegedly taken her own life. This is a very big deal because it validates a large part of this FBI tip. The story has now moved from pure newly uncovered records support a very serious FBI tip involving Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. This is the Epstein file involving a tip from an individual who said they had driven a passenger who alleged that she was SA'd by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. The individual who submitted the tip claimed that they later learned the passenger had passed away and was found with her head blown off in Oklahoma. Now we have evidence to back up this claim. A 19-year-old student passed away on January 10th, 2000, according to death notices from 2 newspapers. The state's chief medical examiner told the Oklahoman on December 24th that the death of Dusky Duke was ruled a self-unaliving due to a gunshot to the head. The FBI tip was logged by an...
Can y'all hit the like button for me, please? Double tap or hit those 3 dots at the top right. And yes, I do have the interview from the guy, but I'll play that later because my likes ain't up.
Preeminently the most powerful corporate litigation attorney on planet Earth. And the divider rolls down again. Dan? Yes, sir. We can't get anything to come on back here. Not the lights, radio, not the air. Going down the road, within about 5 to 10 feet of where your car actually is on a computer screen out here. We can tell how fast you're going. We can tell you if the radio's on, what the volume is.
This is the limo driver.
Oh. I went home.
Testimony.
Next morning, the phone rings at 7:30 in the morning. I picked the phone up. Hello? Is this Dan? Yes. I recognized the voice. It was Scott, the owner of the limousine service.
So I'll play that when my likes are up, but I got it. just so you know. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, is that Pam Bondi and Donald Trump? Is that Pam Bondi? Is that Pam Bondi and Donald Trump long time ago? Was she at some of them parties? Is she one of the ones that they paid for the education? The Epstein promised to pay the education. Whew. Lord. Y'all ready to be reminded of old boys? What he said to the laws. Let's go. Oh, hold on. Where can I send this? Y'all, can y'all double tap? Hey, Derek. It look like her. Sure do. I ain't gonna even lie. It look like her. Can y'all double tap the face of your screens? Get the likes up for me. Or hit those 3 dots at the top right corner. I would greatly appreciate it. Hi, Sylvia. It look like her to me, too. I ain't gonna even lie. Even lie. Well, why aren't you over here? That looks like her. Absolutely. And I remember at first she tried to act like she didn't know Donald Trump. And then she had to later come back and say, oh, yeah, in my 20s, I think I met him once. Yeah, now you remember. Now you remember. Oh, somebody had to pull the tape. Somebody had to bring out the picture. And then so you were at those nasty ass parties where they were grooming girls, where Ghislaine Maxwell. Why is this not over here? Where Ghislaine Maxwell said that they were, I'm trying to bring this up over here off of this tablet, but it's not coming up in my, am I under the other one? Hold on. Yep, that look like her to me. I ain't gonna even lie. Well, it won't let me transfer it over. You sent, yeah. Y'all still with me? I'm sorry. I didn't realize I had shut you down. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see that? Oh, that music. Oh, We're just going to have to watch it until he start talking. This is when Jonathan Oddie is at the Trump Towers having it out with the police. Okay, now he's talking. Hold on. Let me cut it up. Hold on. Please double tap. Oh, I don't like that music.
He's embarrassed about Stormy's situation, okay?
You don't have,
Family message?
yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My son, yeah. Deeds and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
You can't hear?
He's a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
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 Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter. Okay? I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Well, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How did you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boulay. The Boulay is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was my she, took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people.
Okay.
I had settlement with Sean, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that eliminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country.
All right.
Basically, what I did you talk about?
If y'all can't hear, go out and come back in. Please go out and come back in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boulay. The Boulay is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was my she, took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that eliminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country.
All right.
Basically, what I did you talk about? Did you explain about the message? Or
Please.
Elaborate. On Thursday, Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence and I took the American flag from the front desk and I drove the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying, okay. Keep going.
It ain't like that. The CIA and then they want to do the same thing that they did to JFK. Okay?
Alright.
Why? Because they want the United States to fall. They've already been creating a state of chaos and confusion in the United States. They want the United States to fall. Donald was against their agenda.
Oh, hold on. Now this makes a little different sense now.
I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence and I took the American flag, I put it in the front desk, and I threw the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying. Okay, keep going.
He thinks. Hold on. He think if he let him out. Hold on.
And I heard a lot. Hidden in plain sight. I think I see what you're saying. Okay, how do I know this? Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this? Do you know Sean Combs? Puff Daddy? Yeah. P. Diddy, whatever you call him. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati. Okay. It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was she took care of me. Right. So I love black people. Okay. I settled there with Sean. Okay. He's Donald Trump. Okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about.
So he used to be a part of the Illuminati.
Okay, of individuals which run the whole country. Alright.
They can't lie. Thank you
what I did
for the cup of tea.
Please.
Thank you.
On Thursday, to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the case. I took jumped the fence and I took the American flag, I put it in the front desk, and I threw the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying. Okay, keep going.
He think if he let who out?
It ain't like that. The CIA, and then they want to do the same thing that they did to JFK. Okay. Right. Why? Because they want the United States to fall. They've already been creating a state of chaos and confusion, right? They want the
this was years ago, y'all.
Donald was against their agenda and won the presidency. Okay. He did get help from Russia. He did get help from the Saudis. He also got help from a lot of Republicans in here, which is the electoral college votes. And he got a lot of support from Republican people. Okay. The elections, they weren't fair, but he wanted the electoral college votes. Right. Which is the Republican vote, basically. He got him through, okay? He didn't get the popular vote. Okay? I hear you. So basically, the interior, he made it. He's president-elect by the electoral college. So he made it. The situation is that he still hasn't kicked out the corruption from the system. He's letting them stay due to money, basically, because they all like making money. That's why they're all billionaires, etc. So there's only this select few that run the country. Okay. So I know you may or may not. I know you're gonna believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati. Illuminati. Yeah, Illuminati. Okay. They've made it in dance. Basically, what it means, illuminated. I got you. Okay. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is
oh my God! This man, listen. This man was telling us a long time ago everything that was going down. He ain't mental. Everything he talking about is coming out now. What are you talking about? He ain't mental. He may be mental because he's been traumatized. I wonder how old was he when he became a sex slave. Hold on. I'm trying to get the charge up. Oh, man. I am out of juice. on this one. I wonder how old was he when he got trafficked. That's why he used the word sex slave. Hold on, let me get another device. That is why he used the term sex slave. Because he was probably trafficked. And then I was thinking, that's probably why he was so aggressive at the Trump Tower. Because they never said why he attacked the Trump Towers. What was his beef with Trump? Hold on. I might have juiced over there. Let me see if I got it on this one. Y'all double tap the face of your screen. Hit the like button. Get the likes up. Thank you, Kane Life. Thank you for coming through. I greatly appreciate it. Everything that this guy is saying, when people were saying he was mental, is starting to, absolutely, Sylvia, it is starting to make sense. I knew that they were tied, but even, if you're not a part of the stuff that they was doing, it seems far-fetched. It would be easy to think that someone was mental. But everything he's saying is relevant to what's going on right now and what is unfolding.
Up to you.
And it may be Israel, but this stuff was going on long before Bibi Netanyahu. What he did to Sasha was in '89. I know that they have been in debt with, or in bed, or however you want to put it, with Israel for a while, but because this is way before Trump was in politics. He was thugging then. He was straight up thug, living off of his daddy, and his still wasn't paying no bills, still being deceitful. But who he is today is not who he was back then. Let's be clear. I'm trying to. Hey, Mimi, why is that particular video not crossing over to my watch videos? Hold on. I don't understand that. Dang it. How long was that video?
Like a sex slave.
It was May 2018 when Jonathan Oddie spun.
That's not the one I was just watching. I'm trying to get the same exact one I was just watching.
Now a local tax expert will do your taxes for $150 all in. No catch. Like a sex slave.
It was May 2018 when Jonathan Oddie spontaneously uttered those words to authorities in Florida. And these resurfaced interrogation tapes. In custody after he just opened fire at the Trump National Golf Club in Doral after Oddie said he saw.
Yeah, I want to find the same exact one that I was just watching. And for y'all who don't know, I often talk about the video where I had Diddy and Trump was having an interview and people didn't know that they went way back. Why I try to find that same video I was just watching on a different device. Here's this video for the ones of y'all who didn't know. So when you hear Jonathan Oddie talk about Trump and Diddy, you know, some people want to think that Trump was above Diddy, or they ain't never worked in the same circle, although it's plenty evidence. Some people are just in total denial of Trump. They so far up in that rear end until they just can't think straight. You know, I'm telling y'all need to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Get the likes up.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, you know, whether you like it or not. I go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful.
So it's this, if he's selling something to Diddy, selling him, and he has to sell him to the people. He lets another fraudster free from prison for a second time, so he don't pardon another fraudster. Yeah, so for people to act like Diddy, like they didn't do business, L.C. Baker, here it is. So he plans on selling Diddy to other people, to his partners in crime. He said, I really like you, and I'm sure others will too. What that mean? Diddy being interviewed by DT for creep jobs. I mean, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried to tell you before, T-sippers. T-sippers know, but the guests don't. So here it is. This is why I feel like it was Trump who pulled Diddy into this this, you know, whatever it is, you know. So Diddy was under the impression that he was one of the good old boys. So just like Bill Cosby, you know, he was until and you can best believe once Diddy got caught up and they didn't get him out, he started threatening to blackmail. And that's why Diddy's still in there, and that's why he has not been pardoned. Let's be clear.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, you know, I'm just a passionate young man. And
so breaking jaws and arms, that sounds like what was happening to Sasha. They roughed him up really bad. That's what he said.
The brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you.
Going down like 4 con. What is that? What is?
Yeah, but it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Oh, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
You. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, you know, I'm just a passionate young man, and I made a mistake.
Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble. And I did it by working smart. More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. You know, I've done things, but I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes that I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Perhaps, perhaps not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you really can't have done very much wrong, and that means you can't have done very much.
This motherfucker.
Which
that I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little.
They
I'm
one
just
and
a
the same.
passionate young man, and I made a mistake.
Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble.
Oh,
And I did it by working smart. More important.
Oh, y'all, For every last one of y'all who haven't seen this video, didn't know nothing about it, y'all need to double tap the face of y'all screen if you're listening to this interview of Trump and Diddy. Double tap the face of the phone. Double tap, just like that, and get the likes up. What is that interview I was just listening to? I hit those 3 dots at the top corner end. Get the likes up. Yeah, they homies. They go back. They all a part of the same cult master blueprint. Who was that? Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Cheers. Thank you. Hey, Samantha. I don't understand. I need to be charging up this other tablet since it's out of juice. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I guess it is a fast charge. Y'all get the likes up? Double tap, double tap. Come on.
Than anything else is by using my own brain. You know, I've done things, but
oh yeah, you've done things.
And I'm doing well.
You even told yourself you there's nothing that you can do. I understand now. I understand why you said there is nothing on earth you can do to make it into heaven. You have absolutely sold your soul to the devil. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Let's go.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, you know, whether you like it or not. I go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous.
He said yes.
Really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. And by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, you know, I'm just a passionate young man, and I made a mistake.
Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble. And I did it by working smart. More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. You know, I've done things, but I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes that I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Perhaps, perhaps not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you really can't have done very much wrong, and that means you can't have done very much.
Yeah.
Which is why I have no intention of running for president, and I wouldn't have an intention of running for president, and that's a shame, because that's not the...
It's a shame that the people allowed you in.
I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes that I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Perhaps, perhaps not. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you really can't have done very much wrong, and that means you can't have done very much.
Yeah.
Which is why I have no intention of running for president, and I wouldn't have an intention of running for president, and that's a shame, because that's not the way life should work, I feel.
Well, that's what people can't understand.
Yeah.
You know, we can't be judged by man. God runs this world, you know.
So y'all think God is...
Right. Well, he's done a fantastic job, at least as far as my stuff is concerned.
Who's doing a fantastic... Are they talking about God?
Yeah.
You know, we can't be judged by man. God runs this world, you know.
Right. Well, he's done a fantastic job, at least as far as my stuff is concerned.
Donald Trump just said God has done a fantastic job, at least as far as he is concerned. Is that what I just heard? That God is doing a fantastic job. Wow. Wow. I don't think I heard that before. And all the times that I have watched this video, I don't think I've heard Donald Trump say that God is doing a fantastic job as far as he is concerned. Thank you, Flip Mode.
You know, Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, you know, whether you like it or not. I'll go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people are saying
I can't believe there's nothing. I mean, because at this point, Diddy was already known. So why would Donald Trump be saying, I think that everybody will?
A few people are saying I was just.
Why would he say that? Unless he is going to introduce him into his world.
You know, I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me, I'm like, you know, I'm just a passionate young man, and
you know, just tremendous.
This is why I'm gonna be honest, y'all. This is why I don't really like playing this one, because every time I do, it just kind of takes me somewhere in my thought, and it's like, and now that I'm hearing and understanding, grasping everything that's going on with Sasha Riley, it just kind of takes me somewhere else with these people and their intentions and everybody that's involved. So, like, I don't know what quite happened when Diddy tried to flip on him and started going with this black power, you know, he's going to destroy black people if he, you know, because whatever you was made you say that, you knew his intentions all along, but you wasn't black power enough to forewarn us as long as you was a part of the organization. You've been knowing what was going on. You just wanted to do yours a different way. And I said this even during the Diddy trial, not fully understanding how big it is, but I still was able to connect the dot with Diddy and Trump. So Diddy been knowing what was going on, because this was after he got in trouble with Jennifer Lopez. But the only thing that still kind of puzzles me, now I didn't realize he said God. Yeah, no, I didn't realize he said that. But I still am trying. There's nothing else I can connect that statement to other than he was about to introduce him to the organization of what they already had going on at a fee. Because Trump, even back then, didn't do anything without a fee. Unless that shooting incident, what? Yeah, no, nothing makes sense to me other than bringing him in when he said, I really like you, and I think the others will too. Yeah, there's nothing logically fits in that except bringing him in.
Know what time of day, whether you like it or not. I'll go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
Just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. And by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. Just because I was breaking people's...
But I'm going to tell you that look right here. Y'all get the likes up. This look right here. Y'all know I'm finna say something crazy. This look right here. This look. Open your eyes, Danica. Yeah. This look right here is saying, but I'm going to have to fuck you, right? Hi, Marilyn. This look right here is, yeah, but I'm going to have to break that ass in. I'm going to have to break you in. Yeah, I'm going to have to test that. Yes, sir. I think the other partner, the other fellas is going, they're going to like you too, but I'm going to have to break that ass in. Why Diddy over there licking his lips? Diddy had no problem. I agreed. He ain't had no problem with that. He said, at a certain point, everybody will. I don't know. We don't have too many African Americans in our situation, but Clarence Thomas, we used to have Bill, but, he done got too old and reckless. And, yeah, that, Yeah. Anyway, I hope Bill didn't have no boys. But anyway, they didn't have too many brothers up off in there, I don't think. Now, maybe after Diddy, Lady Brown, baby, you can tell I'm about to end because I done went from sympathy, empathy, tears. I done went through all the phases. Now I got jokes. So, so once he got a hold of Diddy, I think he was trying to find a brother who can pull the blacks in. Because at one point, we didn't see any little black girls. Then we started seeing, there are some. And then Sasha Riley said there was one of the 3 little girls. One of them was black, and she was unalived by the Danica crew. You know, it it was one thing to only have people talk about being groomed and um, used for I'm gonna say escort, but y'all know, pimping them out. So it don't went from groomed, aped, pimped little girls, teenagers, to now we are flip flip the chapter, and it is groomed, graped, pimped, and urder little girls and little boys. So before we didn't hear of urder. With all the females, we never heard urder. I know I haven't. Sasha has came in and said, "Yeah, I'm a survivor. I was one of the little boys." I need to go back to that list to see if his name was on that list. And then, so I was one of the little boys. I was 8 and beaten, knocked out, stoned. And saw them murder people with my own eyes. Not just kids, it was grown men too. And never once, I mean, he is adamant in saying that Epstein was a worker for Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the kingpin. And that's, I'm not going to say that's why he, I don't know if it's because he did that to those dogs and puppies, but he's the only person that seemed like that they stepped to Donald Trump with a tent state. But let's finish this on out. He stepped to Donald Trump with a tent state. I know Donald Trump's sick that this is out. I know he is.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well. Yes. You know, just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this. Yeah. But it also takes a toughness. Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock. Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. Because, and by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will. Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. You know, just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, I'm just a passionate young man, and I made a mistake. Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble. Mm-hmm. And I did it by working smart. More importantly than anything else is by using my own brain. I've done things, but I'm not in any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money. Well, you're making the same mistakes as I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better. Perhaps not. I don't know. I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you really can't have done very much wrong.
Why were they talking about politics at that point?
Yeah, which is why I have no intention of running for president, and I wouldn't have an intention of running for president, and that's a shame, because that's not the way life should work, I feel. Well, that's what people can't understand. Yeah. We can't be judged by man. God runs this world, Right. Well, he's done a fantastic job, at least as far as my stuff is concerned. I've done great for the casino business. All 3 of my casinos were rated 4 stars by the Mobile Travel Guide, and they're the only casinos in the United States that are so rated. I built the Taj Mahal, which everyone said that's going to be his downfall. The Taj Mahal, it's over $1 billion building.
Well, there ain't no more.
I think
And, I think I'm an enormously successful businessman, too. Maybe the greatest of all time. And I'm going to make something good out of it.
I don't think he was ready for somebody that was as cocky and arrogant. Are you giving love? Is this your... wait. Is this your love language to Donald? What? What you... wait. What? Wait a minute. Are you giving some love signals to Donald Trump? Is this why Roger Bonds was... Is his name Roger Bonds? Bonds was saying that y'all would spend hours and... Wait, what? You... Trump was over there giving that look like, boy, you know I'm gonna have to test. You know I'm gonna have to test that, right? You know I'm gonna have to run through you for. I'm gonna have to see how. And then you over there, you. Oh wow! Is that yeah, I just don't know how to process this. I lick that lollipop. I will lick you like you some ice cream. My favorite lollipop. You think you got skills with Bill? I'ma teach you a thing or two. I got skills too. I can make this tongue do magic. Make you feel like you never been felt before. Why did it have to stop here, y'all? Oh my God. You ain't never been licked like you gonna be licked from Diddy. Do what? I'm sloop it up and dare to spit it out. What goes in my mouth will stay there. There will be no evidence. This will be between me and you. No one will have to know that I serviced you. Don't look at me like that, Donica. He said, oh, okay, is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? Oh my. Lord, boy, if you don't put your tongue back, I done forgot where I was going. I wasn't expecting to catch you with your tongue out like that, looking at Donald Trump. Oh my goodness. And he over here looking like this, like, okay. Shit. Okay. Shit, we all gotta go down. Shit, I done had to go down. You gonna have to go down too. Bedroom eyes, baby. Y'all, what sickness do he really have? They been over here sharing, all this bedroom stuff. What sickness do they? They say you sick. Hell, is he sick too? This is crazy. Y'all, let me get up over here. Oh no, I gotta do that Jonathan Oddie before I go. Because listen. Yeah, this is why we here, y'all. Jonathan Oddie, who shot up Mar-a-Lago, was calling for CIA, FBI, all them people who was telling the business And folk was saying he was mental, saying he was crazy. Boy, I almost forgot how we got here. All this flirting going on in this interview and people trying to act like they ain't connected. Shit. They connected. They have connected. I am more convinced than I ever have been convinced before. They know each other. They really know each other. You know how dudes do. Yeah, I know how dudes do when another dude be like, man, you like, asking do they know you? And really asking, man, do you don't hit that? Yeah, I know how y'all be talking. I just be playing dumb. But yeah, so he, looking like shit. You don't hit. Hell yeah, he know him well. I'm gonna say that. That's because that's what dudes do be saying. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I know her. I know her. I really know her. Yeah, because he done hit that. That's Diddy and Trump. He know her. He know him. Well. Yeah, he done hit that before. That's the looks we are seeing right now. He done hit that before. Yeah, I'm trying to get. Yeah, I want to make sure I get it pulled back up. You think he done hit that before? Look at him. Looking at Diddy. Oh, hell yeah. He done hit that before. Hit it a couple of times. You let Bonds tell it. Absolutely. I'm trying to get it back to where it was before it cut off. Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. It was under the other page. Got it. I knew I couldn't find it for some reason.
Get everything you need to start making with a Cricut bundle and save. Our must-have bundles include a cutting machine.
Okay. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay, here we go. That's why he said he likes him and everyone will like him. Absolutely, Queenie. He was about to introduce him to his organized crime. Guys. The politicians. And because he threatened to expose is why he is not pardoned.
Puff Daddy, I'm an entertainer. I entertain people no matter what time of day, whether you like it or not. I'll go all day, all night.
I will tell you that you do fantastically well.
Yes.
Just tremendous. You really, it takes a tough guy. Hey, it takes the brains and it takes the this.
Yeah.
But it also takes a toughness.
Yeah, I go to bed like 4 o'clock.
Well, I really like you. And I would tell you if I didn't. And by the way, I think at a certain point, everyone will.
Beautiful. We all human beings, and a few people were saying I was this violent character. Just because I was breaking people's jaws and arms, and look at me. I'm like, I'm just a passionate young man, and I made a mistake.
Well, everybody's going to get in trouble. It's a question of how do you get out of trouble. And I did it by working smart, more importantly than anything else.
He's trying to work smart now, y'all. It ain't going nowhere, though.
I've done things, but not in it.
He trying to get out of the trouble that he in right now. It just ain't going no. What did it song? It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere, y'all.
Any trouble, and I'm doing well, and I'm making money.
Well, you're making the same mistakes as I am. You may just be able to hide yours a little bit better.
Perhaps not. I don't know. I don't know. See, one of the problems with politics and politicians is that you really can't have done very much wrong, and that means you can't have done very much.
Yeah.
Which is why I have no intention of running for president.
Lying ass.
And I wouldn't have an intention of running for president, and that's a shame, because that's not the way life
Hey,
should work.
Cynthia.
Well, that's what people can't understand.
Yeah.
You know, we can't be judged by man. God runs this world, you know.
Right. Well, he's done a fantastic job, at least as far as my stuff is concerned. I've done great for the casino business.
He done sold his soul to the devil.
Casinos were rated 4 stars by the Mobile Travel Guide, and they're the only casinos in the United States that are so rated. I built the Taj Mahal, which everyone said that's going to be his downfall. The Taj Mahal, it's over $1 billion building, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm an enormously successful businessman too. Maybe the greatest of all time. You know, and I'm gonna make something.
Oh man, he just said he was better than Trump. He just said he was better than Trump by saying that he's the greatest of all time, while Trump was over there lying about all his successful businesses. So that's his sales pitch. That's what people have always bought into, his sales pitch. And all of those businesses that he talking about, if they still up, they being seized now. We know that Taj Mahal back then all of those are gone. But that Trump Tower is being seized as we speak.
Exactly right.
People gonna be mesmerized.
Mesmerized. They are flirting, y'all. I can't get past it. Let me
Greatest of all time. You know, I think I'm an enormously successful businessman too. Maybe the greatest of all time.
Yeah, he just said he was better than Trump.
You know,
while Trump was bagging.
Downfall. The Taj Mahal, it's over $1 billion building, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm an enormously successful businessman too. Maybe the greatest of all time. You know, and I'm gonna make something good out of it.
Exactly right.
Oh.
People gonna be mesmerized.
Oh, they screwed that night, y'all. They screwed that day. They got down with it. He said, get down on it. Get down on it. You gotta get down on it. Yep. Look like they gonna pass third base. Oh, absolutely. He said, you gonna be mesmerized. And he looked at him like, oh shit, okay. What you doing tonight? I'm laughing, it ain't funny. But yeah, they did the do. So if this one of them times that Roger Bonds was saying that he was in there for 4 or 5 hours, this is why. They went to stripping off clothes. Coming out smelling like shit. I mean, you know. They are 2 birds of a feather. Absolutely, Queenie. But I need for people, you know, to share, like and share, because people still want to act like they don't have nothing together. So this is what I'm going to end on. It's enough juice in here now. And it is, yeah, I should. I'm not going to do that. I don't have time. It's go back to what we was watching before it kicked out. It was not this big, though. How did I get it? Hold on.
Too quiet. Turn your sound from 100% to 600% with Sound Pusher. Just hit...
Hold on.
Reporting live.
My Breakfast Club in Atlanta for High Plus News. I'm John Alba.
Mr. Lover, 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 lover. Yeah, get your ass up out of here. Bye. Yeah. They go way back, y'all. I've been trying to tell people. They go way back. Okay. Okay. Good morning, afternoon. Is it still? Hey. I'm going to push it back a little bit just in case. So, I want us to listen to this with your good ear. Because now what Jonathan Ottie's saying makes a whole lot more sense. It makes oh, I don't like that music. Oh, yeah. Let me get past that. And he calls himself a sex slave. But he goes into Diddy and Trump. And he even connects them.
I went through the gate. I took I jumped the fence and I took the hamburger fan from the front desk. They're all gay. Okay? DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and PJ? Yeah. Stormy situation, okay? You don't have family in the United States? Yeah. Just my dog Bubbles. My dog? Yeah. Deeds and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay. Who? Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay? DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and PJ? Yeah. They're all gay? Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay. Who supporter? Hamas. Hamas. Yeah. Sorry, I said it wrong. No. Hamas supporter. Okay. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot. Oh, hidden in plain sight. It's hidden. I think I see what you're saying. Okay, how do I know this? Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this? Do you know Sean Combs? Puff Daddy? Yeah. P. Diddy, whatever you call this. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati. Okay. And it's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was my own. She took care of me. Right. So I love black people. Okay. I had a settlement with Sean. Okay. He's Donald Trump. Okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about.
Illuminati.
Which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country. Alright. Basically, what I did you tell him did you explain to him about the message? Or please. Elaborate. On Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I jumped the fence and I took the hamburger fan from the front desk and I drove the chandelier. What I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying. Okay, keep going.
If he let who off the hook?
Okay, individuals which run the whole country. All right. Basically, what I did you tell him did you explain to him about the message? Or please. Elaborate. On Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence and I took the American flag, I put it in the front desk, and I drove the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay?
That he will not accept any more abuse from his system of friends. So, is it safe to assume he's talking about the same system of friends that Sasha Riley is talking about? That he will not take any more abuse from their system of friends.
Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals from the whole country. All right. Basically, what I did you tell him did you explain to him about the message? Or please. Elaborate. On Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence and I took the American flag, I put it in the front desk, and I drove the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying. Okay, keep going. It ain't like the CIA.
He think since he let Hillary off the hook, that he's okay within their organization.
And to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of friends. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying. Okay, keep going. It ain't like the CIA, and then they want to do the same thing that he did JFK. Okay. All right. Why? Because they want the United States to fall. They've already been creating a state of chaos and confusion in the United States. They want the United States to fall.
They do.
Donald was against their agenda and won the presidency. Okay, he did get help from Russia. He did get help from the Saudis. He also got help from a lot of Republicans in here, which is the electoral college vote, and he got a lot of support from.
Did he not get help from Russia? Did he not get help from Saudi? I mean, he done already made a $500 million deal with stolen oil from Venezuela. This man wasn't crazy. He was not crazy.
Republican people. Okay. The elections, they weren't fair, but he wanted the electoral college vote. Right. Which is the Republican vote, basically, got him through, okay? He didn't get the popular vote. Right. I hear you. So basically, the interior, he made it. He's president-elect by the electoral college. So he made it. The situation is that he still hasn't kicked out the corruption from the system. He's letting them day due to money, basically.
Due to money.
Making money. That's why they're all billionaires, etc. So there's only there's select few of that run the country. Okay.
Hey, Gina.
So if you, I know you may or may not. I know you're gonna believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati. Illuminati. Yeah, Illuminati. Okay. They've made it in dance. Basically, what it means, illuminated. I got you. Okay. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. on the crew, and they bond that way. Okay, so they do sexual pedophilia, they do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Okay, the Bohemian Grove, the bushes go there. George C. and George, both of them are in the same agenda. They cousins with the Clintons. Okay, so is Donald Trump. He's also a distant cousin. So if you see, there's a direct correlation of the presence of the United States being bonded between family ties, okay? All these family ties, while not, go back to the same place, the royal family in England, okay? The family here of the Illuminati are descendants of the royal British family, okay? They have children between themselves. Why? Because they have that issue, you understand? They want like superiority of the race. They see it that way. But it really it backfires on them because it makes them simple-minded. You understand? When you have sex with someone in your family, your kids are not going to come out small. You understand? They're going to come out dumb. Alright? So Donald turned his back, but he's still trying to negotiate a peaceful way out, and they have an agenda to kill him. Okay? Example, if you look at the Illuminati card games, example, okay? You look at the game, the Illuminati card game?
I'm not familiar with it, so help me understand.
It's a card game.
It's a card game.
That tells exactly what their agenda is.
Gotcha.
It's called mental pre-programming. That means that
he done talked about MK Ultra.
Once you play it, your mind is already predisposed that this is happening, and you're accepting it. Okay? So they have a picture of Donald dead in that game.
They what?
I'm not crazy. They have a picture of Donald dead. But they also have Twin Towers.
Oh.
They have that issue, you understand? They want like superiority of the race. They see it that way. But it really it backfires on them because of the way, okay? So they do sexual pedophilia, they do it's coming out. Animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove.
That Bohemian Grove.
The Bohemian Grove, the bushes go there. George C. and George, both of them are in the same agenda.
Secret society.
They cousins with the Clintons, okay?
They cousins with the Clintons.
Donald Trump. He's also a distant cousin. So
he's saying they are related.
There's a direct correlation of the presence of the United States being bonded between family ties, okay? All these family ties, while not, go back to the same place. The royal family in England, okay? The family here of the Illuminati are descendants of the royal British family, okay? They have children between themselves. Why? Because it's...
Sound like he's talking about the Rothschilds.
They have that issue, you understand? They want like superiority of the race. They see it that way. But it really it backfires on them because it makes them simple-minded. You understand? When you have sex with someone in your family, your kids are not going to come out small. You understand? They're going to come out dumb. Alright? So Donald turned his back, but he's still trying to negotiate a peaceful way out.
He turned his back.
An agenda to kill him. Okay.
To kill him.
Example.
Y'all hear that?
If you look at the Illuminati card games, example, okay? You look at the game, the Illuminati card game.
I'm not familiar with it, so help me understand.
It's a card game.
It's a card game.
That tells you exactly what the agenda is.
Gotcha.
It's called mental pre-programming. That means
Mental
that
pre-programming.
you predispose already. Once you play it, your mind is already predisposed at this happening, and you accepting it. Okay, so they have a picture of Donald dead in that
Thank
game.
you, Denise, for the Sunday.
All right, I'm not crazy. They have a picture of Donald, but they also had the Twin Towers. They had everything on there. Okay, from A to Z. So it's kind of like a hidden agenda, which they try to make it
a reality,
open to our eyes, but we really don't see it. We're so busy working.
It's kind of like hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you're my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was my own. She, took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people.
Okay.
I had a settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land over contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5, okay? When I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything, okay?
You question.
This woman handed her daughter
Marilyn, you question if what's real.
necklace and left her in the crowd at a railway.
You question if what is real.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean.
Marilyn, you said I question it that was real. What are you talking about? If what was real? I mean, what has he said that is not unfolded now? Especially with the car accident. What car accident? What are you talking about?
Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I seen
Merlin, I don't know what you're talking about.
But they did Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible, I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead to war Donald Trump?
Okay.
The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah. He had he drugged Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose. They OD'd him because they keep the royalties of the music. Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017, which keeps that royalty. the music companies. Who represents the media and entertainment in the United States? Most of them, Mercedes does. Kenny Mercedes, which is Goodman Mercedes shot out of New York. Okay? So what they've been doing is they've been promoting a hate agenda against Trump. So people hate him. Okay? Because they know he is very alpha. Okay? Very alpha in the sense that he likes money, he likes to make money, and he likes women, and they know they want to defame him in certain ways with Stormy, with other people, because they want him out of the government, okay? But it ain't happening because it's too smart for them. You understand what I'm saying?
You're trying to, right?
Don is intelligent. We have a similar type of intelligence and overview of things. The only thing is he's not seeing that Hillary is a distant cousin of his and Obama have a different plan for him. You understand? No offense with Obama. I love each and every American, but he was part of that 9/11 agenda. He's a CIA agent, an ex-CIA agent. That's why there's so much identity issues with Obama. Who knows his real name? They say he was born in Indonesia and he's also born in Hawaii. Nobody knows.
Oh yeah, Merlin, I know what you're talking about, but that's not what we're talking about over here.
Basically, Osama bin Laden.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was a creation of the CIA, and it was Obama in a cave talking shit and looking like an Arab. And then they bombed the Twin Towers. Okay? So my problem is, I'm here to expose each and single one of them to the American public for the crimes committed on September 11th, 2001, and therefore. Okay?
Now tell me though, how all of that led up to Thursday night, Friday morning.
Well, I've been trying. My settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because I was going to be sued. So I let it be, but they've been following me, and they've had, Mark Garrett has had the FBI on me, has had other agencies looking at me and spying on me, okay, because they wanted to set me up as an extortionist, like if I was extorting Sean for money. It's wrong. Basically, what happened is, Deeds and Ross, which they good buddies, okay, they're gay.
Who?
Both, Eddie and Ross, and Khaled, they're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay.
Who supporter?
Hamas.
I think he repeating it over.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter. Okay. Basically, he's Arab, Palestinian, okay? The Ciroc agenda, okay, is basically binge drinking poured out on a yacht. They promote binge drinking and drugs.
Gotcha.
The hip-hop agenda was...
Oh, that's why I guess I never liked Ciroc. Did he say Ciroc is made of what? What he say?
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter. Okay? Basically, he's Arab, Palestinian. Okay? The Ciroc agenda.
You're welcome, Merle.
Basically, binge drinking
poured
out on a yacht. They promote binge drinking and drugs.
Oh, that's what they promote. Okay.
The hip-hop agenda was supported, it was laid out by Obama during his last presidencies purposely. That's why they had Tupac killed, because when they kill them, you gain fame. When people, your record sales go up, and then people listen to your lyrics and everything, and then you become famous, okay? That's how they do it, all right? Tupac's still alive. He's in Cuba. Basically, what happens is the hip-hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs all over the United States.
Who is still alive?
And then you become famous. Okay, that's how they do it. All right.
But who is he saying is still alive?
Still alive.
Oh, he's saying Tupac's still alive.
Pulled out on a yacht. They promote binge drinking and drugs.
Gotcha.
He said Tupac's still alive.
The agenda was supported. It was laid out by Obama during his last presidencies purposely. That's why they had Tupac killed. Because when they kill them, you gain fame. When people, your record sales go up, and then people listen to your lyrics and everything, and then you become famous. Okay, that's how they do it. All right. Tupac's still alive. He's a killer. Basically, what happens is the hip-hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs all over the United States. You need to involve the DEA. They move all the dope. Okay, all the dope on private jets, which don't get screened by customs, by the inside the United States. Okay, they move what's called high-grade powder MDMA. They move cocaine, and they move liquid cocaine in the bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the bottles and they move it. I've seen the liquid cocaine. I've drank it myself, having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay, it's not good. He drinks it all the time. Alright, he calls it Gigi, but it's liquid cocaine. Alright.
Gigi.
I don't know there's a conspiracy against Trump because it's in the Illuminati card deck. He should look at it for himself.
Let me bring it back to Thursday night, Friday morning. I mean, how?
Okay, so this man is telling some truth, but he also, are you saying got mental problems? Oh, well, yeah, if you've been a sex slave, drugged out, beaten, and all that other stuff, you probably have mental problems too. I think Trump has mental problems. I think Diddy has mental problems. I think a lot of them who have entertained that cult have mental problems. I think some people who haven't been in that cult have mental problems. I mean, I don't care anything about that really, as long as he's telling the truth. I mean, and he may think Tupac is still alive. Some people still think Tupac is still alive. And I think, honestly, I think a lot there's quite a few people that we think was unalive that's possibly still alive. I still have problems. I'm going to be honest. When I don't see no blood, Charlie Kirk probably still alive. I mean, there's some other rappers that still may be still alive. But again, with what people have, we are coming to terms with what some of these people that have been entangled with Donald Trump and his organized crime and his congressmen and judges affiliation. Yeah, I'm surprised that they are still alive. I'm gonna keep it real. But what I can say, whether he is mental or not, what he is saying is happening or being exposed right now today. And a lot of it is in them Epstein files that Donald Trump do not want by any means necessary to fully come out. Because it will expose that they had male slave, triple X slaves, not just females. So we got to be careful with calling people crazy. Yeah, Epstein too, but you know what? Again, I'm going to say, Queenie, these people, for the most part, are not naming him the ringleader. Remember, I have been consistently saying that he was a pimp. He molded and groomed women and pimped them out to his clients. But the trafficking, he said one thing: Trump was worse. He's the most despicable, and he is the worst. He also said it was Trump who introduced him to the trafficking part of it. And even here with Adi, he's not saying Epstein. When you listen to Sasha, he brings up Epstein, but as far as who was the ringleader, who was the worst, who was Trump. Trump. So everything that Trump put on other people, we know he's a deflector like that. He'll put his sicknesses, his evil, his, wrongdoing. He'll put it out there, but he puts it on other people. So when he said, you still talking about, he is despicable. He's talking about himself. Even Virginia Giuffre, she said that Epstein did traffic her, but she said that Ghislaine Maxwell was worse. So all Trump did was join forces with somebody who was already doing a crime. He just jumped in on it and introduced what he was familiar with, which was the trafficking. His granddaddy had a brothel. So he brought to the table what he was familiar with, and that was trafficking.
Night, Friday morning. I mean, how did all of this? I think I better understand what you're saying, but what I want to know is how did that prompt you? How did that make you do what you did?
Well, we get into a point that his assassination is coming, okay, because it's an agenda they perpetrate on the media and the news. Example, Madonna is a client of Mercedes, Ben Mercedes. He has her go on public TV and say, oh, someone should, I thought so many times of going up and blowing up the White House. Okay? They give her that little message. That little message is Hillary's message, okay? Because Hillary sends it to Geragos, and Geragos gives it to Mercedes. And they give it to okay, now I get all of that. You're gonna need an internet so I can show you. If I show you the website, you're just gonna go like, oh fuck.
Alright. Help me understand you. How old are you?
I'm 42. I've been through all my life. I've had a great life. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, but he's scared that I wasn't exposed.
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, obviously we never met.
I know.
I don't know you from Adam's Cat. I'm trying to, we'll get back to the event.
I got like 30 years dog.
Where are you from?
I was born in South Africa.
What town? What city?
Newcastle, the Valley of 1,000 Hills. I'm from Zululand. I'm what you call a Zulu.
Okay.
I was born there, and then my parents were Latin descent from Argentina. They escaped the military dictatorship in Argentina.
Pinochet, all that?
No, the Argentine one. Yeah, my Pinochet was.
What is this? MKO to
it was like a military dictatorship. I can't remember the names.
All right. How many years did you stay in South Africa?
12
okay,
years.
y'all, I gotta go.
And I stayed.
I gotta go. I started out with Sasha, and I'm ending with Jonathan Oddie. They both were male XXX slaves. To prominent men that has a tie. Right now I'm talking about Diddy and Trump. And it sounds like Adi has been with them both. I'm going to say this. I've been saying this for 4 or 5 years. It's all full circle. Been catching up on your videos. Oh, yeah. They've been heavy. That's why I've been, it's been heavy and hurtful, alarming, and thank you. You have a great day. God bless you too, Merlin. And now there's been another female who, here we go with these, took their own life after being entangled with Donald Trump. And her name is in the Epstein files. Now, I don't know at that point if they knew that she took her own life. I don't know. What's her name? Dukes. I have it here. I just don't know where it's at. And I have the limousine driver who's doing some form of confession. I may play that later. We may listen to that later on. Yeah. The one that was in the limo driver tried to get her to go talk. She was afraid for her life. And now they're saying that she took her own. Why does, that's a repeat cycle, isn't it? That they take their own life. Everybody come in contact and got dirt on Trump, they take their own life. Is that how they doing it now? I don't know, but I'll be back later on, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Peace and hair grease, baby.